Hello, a warm welcome to the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Of course, it's a special morning from the theatre, Box Bar Mini Stadium in Briana. And welcome to the 2025 Briana Sports Committee's Nawettan or Elimination. Of course, coming to you live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. And of course, it's a special morning and the first game of the Elimination 2025. And the game between Niro Legacy Football Club and Borderline. The ground is set for this huge class. And Niro Legacy currently dressed in their colorful light green shorts and light green socks, whilst Borderline dressed in blue shorts and white and blue socks. And of course, it's the opener of the 2025 Nawettan Elimination. And if you may like, call it the qualifiers between Niro Legacy Football Club and Borderline. And Niro Legacy this morning is under the guidance of head coach Keba Conte and Lamin Bojang, while landing Jame and Brimo Gomez on the technical area for Borderline Football Club. And Borderline at some point playing in the Briana Summer Nawettan before the team's relegation, and now hoping to get the team back to the Briana Summer Nawettan proper. And this season there are 7 available spots, and already we have 76 teams that are currently vying for a spot in this year's Briana Summer Nawettan. Of course, Kemo Kanye, it's a special morning from the Box Bar Mini Stadium and the opener of 2025 Briana Summer Nawettan Qualifiers, and the first fixture this morning between Niro Legacy and Borderline Football Club.
Yes, the first game for the Summer Nawettan, and also a huge task for either of the sides here in Niro Legacy and Borderline Football Club. But remember, Borderline were a team that were competing in the Summer Nawettan proper, but I mean they got themselves relegated years back, and then now they are fighting for a spot back to the Nawettan proper. Niro Legacy, they did not qualify themselves to be playing in the league, but they have a time where they were competing in the Summer Nawettan proper, because Berewuleng one time gave them a spot, and then they were playing into that particular spot about a year, so about a Nawettan season rather. So it is going to be a huge task. Looking at the composition of either of the sides here, they are having very good players within their mates in Niro Legacy and Borderline. So this is going to be a very big game, a very huge encounter between the two sides, a great test for either of the sides here. But I mean, there is a very good number of spots for teams to qualify. Remember, it is different from the other eliminations that we have seen previously. I mean, where in some cases none of the Nawettan teams will make their way into the Nawettan proper. But for this one, there is 7 clear spot that is there for all the competing teams for the elimination this season. So you win at least 3, and then perhaps when you win 3 games, you will find yourself into the Nawettan proper. So all the teams are very much aware of this, and then 76 teams competing in this year's elimination round, and then the teams will also be increased to 40 teams in the Nawettan proper. It used to be 32 teams, but for Nawettan teams they are given 7 spots to fight for, and then the rest of the 32 teams will automatically be getting themselves an automatic spot into the Nawettan proper as they were playing last season. So and all hands also, or one will say the senior players rather, will also have a spot that they will be playing into this year's Summer Nawettan. So it's a huge game between the Academy boys Niro, who are currently playing from our right ref, and then against the Borderline side, one will see a more experienced side, because Border I mean, when you took up the Brikama Summer Nawettan, you know Borderline is a household name, but due to some circumstances, they got themselves relegated, and now they need a spot to be competing again in the Summer Nawettan proper. You can see their captain is one of the familiar faces in the Brikama Summer Nawettan. He used to play for Kabapita United and also been very, very instrumental for them. You have seen him playing for Fonyi, also captain the side here as well. He is the captain of the of this Borderline side. So let's see what this game will pan out to be at the end. But it is going to be a huge, huge test between the two sides, because both sides are having that talent in their midst that can do them a favor into this particular game, and then their opponents will also have a very, very good talents with them that can harm their opponent team. So let's see what happens here, whether it has to be the academy boys or it has to be that of the Borderline side to go home with this particular trophy here, or to advance themselves, rather I should say. It's not yet a trophy, to advance themselves to the next level of the Summer Nawettan elimination round. So but it is going to be a very, very difficult game. We are very, very sure of that, because as I have said earlier on, both these teams have some very good players in their midst that can do the needful for their sides, and then it is going to be a very, very good test for either of the sides. Corner now for that of the Borderline side.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanyi, and of course it's a special morning, and a morning at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in this year's Brikama Summer Nawettan. Of course, qualifiers the first fixture between Niro Legacy and Borderline, and it's a corner for Borderline, dressed in colorful blue shorts and white and blue socks, and it's a corner for Borderline Football Club, who is taking that we have to confirm. It's a delivery for Borderline, partly headed out by Niro Legacy. Niro Legacy, Patrick Neke. This time Famara, and of course Famara Jaju has been the team captain for the Fonyi zonal team, and also the team captain for Borderline this morning at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Lively contest, great atmosphere at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, and also live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin Parliament for DK Mokanyi, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Nelson Mendy, who is currently leading the line. And in case you're just joining us, this is all coming to you live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in the Nawettan 2025 qualifiers between Niro Legacy and Borderline Football Club. And before going deep into the commentary, rundown on the starting 11 for Niro, who are currently starting with Musa Suware in goal, Modu Toure, Hassan Toure, Yaya Cisse, or Hassan Jajurada, Yaya Cisse, Buba Mane, Tony Nyobe, Ibrahima Mane, Peter Ndeki, Mohamed Drame, Pamodu Jaju and Nelson Mendy, completing the 11 for Niro Legacy. And Niro is currently under the guidance of Keba Conte and Lamin Boja as force and assistant coaches. And on the other end, for Borderline is starting with Ibrahim Makambi in goal, Babandi Monkey, Baseku Job, Bubakar Drame, Alaji Koli, Ibrahima Jaw, Famara Jame, Famara Jaju, Modu Jiba, Abdul Drame and Mod Lamin Jaju, completing the 11. And of course it's going to be an opportunity for Borderline Football Club to deliver that corner on the far side. And it's currently a crowded penalty area for Niro Legacy. Niro Legacy hoping to get the spot in the Brikama Summer Nawettan. They once had a spot through Berewuleng Football Club just for a season around the area. This time it's a great header coming from Niro Legacy. Peter Ndeki lost it around the area, Borderline, looking to get something. Caught out partly by Niro Legacy. Ndeki regained possession, getting that ball short to Nelson. Nelson lost possession. Is an opportunity for Borderline. Caught out partly, and a strong header coming from Toure Modu. Niro Legacy currently enjoying possession in their own half, and the central defender, of course, is Modu Toure, who was also part of the players that played Brikama Summer Nawettan last season. It's a strong header coming from Borderline Football Club, and the boys in blue will start the play from their own half against Niro Legacy. Is that a push given by the central referee Landing Jiba, who is having the assistance of Omar Sissoko, Landing Jai and Bakari Jaju as the fourth assistant referee. Of course, it's the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brickama, and of course a special morning. Kemo Kanye, this is definitely unusual, and the turnout is definitely impressive here at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Looking at the turnout, I think this is what we expect to see when it comes to community football, and then Nawettan and its qualifiers are concerned.
Yes, very well, Pa. It's always like this when it comes to the qualifiers and also the Nawettan proper, because I mean these are community teams that are participating in this Nawettan. So everyone from that particular community will try to come and then stand by their side. So this is why even in this morning you have seen so many of the fans here have come here to grace this particular game that we are currently witnessing here. So it is a great game, and also the turnout is also massive here at the Brickama Box Bar Mini Stadium. But one will see it is in the morning. This is why I mean it is not filled up to the capacity. But when you come for the evening games, it is always very full up to the capacity. So it continues like this when always Nawettan teams are playing, because these Nawettan teams are hail from our various communities, where every community member will try to come and then stand by their sides, because this they are having their brothers who are playing with them, and also their neighbors who are playing for their side. So if a player is playing for your area, so you as well, someone who is a resident in that particular area, your role is to come and stand by them, and then the fans are doing that very well, and so as the players are also doing their part, and also the fans usually also come out in their numbers in trying to making sure that they give that support maximally to their players, so that they will be able to achieve what they wanted to achieve at the end part.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanye, around the area. Borderline Football Club trying to unlock the defense of Niro Legacy. Still borderline once again. To the right sided central defender. Niro Legacy picking possession, not for too long. Borderline on the final touch. And it's an opportunity for Niro Legacy to deliver the throw in. And Niro is currently under the guidance of Keba Conte and Lamin Pujang. Yaya Sise will deliver. Yaya hard spells with the Brickama zonal team, and also played for Brickama United briefly. It's a strong one coming from Niro Legacy, partly headed out by Borderline. And Borderline to effect. Mfama Rajame laying that ball short. It's a chase on the far side, but the boys in blue and the left back and number 4 Babanding Monkey to deliver. Babanding operating as one of the wing backs for Borderline Football Club around the edge. It's a chase. Nelson, who is currently leading the line, is an opportunity once again. Borderline nil, Niro Legacy nil, and central referee Landing Jiba has already given the opportunity to Borderline Football Club from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Of course, this is the Box Bar and the theatre, to be precise. Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brickama, situated in the heart of Brickama, West Coast region, the Gambia, and it's Nawettan Qualifiers 2025, the first fixture between Niro Legacy and Borderline. And this afternoon we're also going to see clashes between Badi FC and Jamwele before Dankote and African Light will face off in the last game of the qualifiers for the day. Around the area, another opportunity. Borderline once again. Famara Jaju, who is the team captain for Borderline, was the team captain for the Foni zonal team. Famara Jaju wrestled and rewarded by the central referee. Borderline will have the opportunity to effect. Alaji Koli to take. Alaji Koli, number 6, dressed in his colorful blue colors for Borderline Football Club, a team one time in the Brickama Summer Nawettan before its relegation, and now looking for the spot. And this season we're going to have 7 available spots without playoffs, and we're going to have 40 teams that will be playing in the Brickama Summer Nawettan. A whooping 40 teams to be playing in the Brickama Summer Nawettan. Anyway, it is still up for grabs. Modu Ture, the central defender, launched that ball forward. Glancing header coming from Nelson Mendy. Nelson is currently leading the line for Niro Legacy. It's a throw in. Borderline. Fans are still piling in at the Box Bar to watch this morning showdown. And of course, it's the first game of the Nawettan Qualifier 2025 for Brickama Sports Committee. Play on sees the referee around the center circle. Niro Legacy launch, caught out by Borderline. Ibrahim Ajao getting that around the center circle. That's a handball. That's a handball. Signaled by the referee. And the referee is Landing Jiba. Omar Sisoho is one of the assistants. Landing Jai and Bakari Jaju serving as the 4th assistant referee. From the Theatre Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, it is 2025 Brikama Sports Committee's Nawettan Qualifiers. This is a long one, borderline to the half of Niro Legacy. Yaya Sise getting that from the half. Ball being headed down. Famara Jaju lost possession. Niro regained possession. It's going to be a chase for Peter Ndeki. Nelson Mendy. Niro Legacy regained possession. Ndeki Peter floating that ball forward. This time caught out by the defenders. And Yaya Sise heading that ball down. Opportunity for Borderline Football Club. And Borderline Modu Jiba around the edge. This time into the gloves of the custodian. That was definitely timely. That was definitely a great run. Attack coming from Borderline Football Club. Kemo Kanyi into the straight into the gloves of Musa Suare in goal for Niro Legacy. Lively contest, great atmosphere at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. We are definitely loving it. It is community football and we are definitely loving the atmosphere at the Box Bar.
Yes, very well. I mean, you can see already what we have been saying here. The great talented footballers that are currently taking part in this particular game tells you a lot about this, because you can see the way they are attacking. When Niro is attacking, you see they go wholeheartedly in trying to making sure that they penetrate the back line for the borderline side. Also, borderline when they are attacking, they do the same. So I mean, this they understand that they must score a goal at least to get themselves progress to the next stage of the elimination round, and then otherwise, I mean, it has to, one must win from the penalty spot to get a spot into the next round of the elimination. So this is what is making the eliminations very, very difficult, because you don't have to draw a game. In fact, if the 90 minutes fails to separate you, I mean, you must be separated from the post-match shootout, and then they are very much aware of that. So this is why they know they either score or try to making sure they defended very well and then settle their score at the post-match shootout. But I mean, both sides here will want to score a goal and then will want to win in the game, but because penalty sport is always sometimes it can fail you. So for them to be able to saw off what will be their destiny towards the next round is for them to at least score a goal into this before the game ends.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanyi. Around the area is an opportunity into the gloves of the custodian and the goalkeeper for Niro Legacy, Musa Suare. Of course, it has been a lively contest. Great atmosphere at the theatre. Niro Legacy up against Borderline. What a game! An interesting game this morning at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in the first game of the 2025 Brikama Summer Nawettan Qualifier, and the game between Borderline and Niro Legacy. And this is the opener and the opening fixture. And up next, it's going to be clashes between Badi FC and Jamweli at 3 o'clock before Dankote taking on African Light in the 5 p.m. game from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Theatre to be precise. And Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama. And it's of course lively, and a lively game between Niro Legacy and Borderline. Currently 0-0, and we must have a winner in this contest. Either in regulation or post-match shootout will decide the winner between Niro Legacy and Borderline Football Club. Currently Niro Legacy 0, Borderline 0 from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, and it's definitely lively. Ball being taken down. Borderline on the far side. One time having a spot in the Brikama Summer Nawettan. Niro Legacy one time had the chance to use a spot that was owned by Bere Wuleng Football Club, and is an opportunity. Goalkeeper dribble past one. Borderline still in their own half, trying to have their way out. Bab and the monkey on the far side, playing that ball short to the boys in blue colors. Borderline around the area, lost possession to Niro Legacy. It's going to be an opportunity. Peter Ndeki to the gloves of the custodian. Peter Ndeki with a great shot into the gloves of the custodian, Ibrahim Akambi. What a game, what a morning. Of course, it's a special morning. Famara Jaju playing that ball short. Borderline around the center circle. Niro Legacy this time, slipped in the process. It's an opportunity. Great control from the number 16, Abdul Drame. Drame Abdul. And it's Yaya Sise. Niro Legacy playing that ball short. It's an opportunity for Niro. Great possessive display coming from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. And the flag of the assistant referee is already up. Mohamed Rami penalized by the flag of the assistant referee. And you could hear the cheers and shouts coming from the supporters. Of course, this is community football, and community football at its best. In this morning's game is Niro Legacy nil, Borderline nil. What a game. What an opener to this year's Brikama Summer Nawettan elimination. Of course, this is the elimination. 7 teams will have the opportunity to play in the Brikama Summer Nawettan this season. And already 40 teams will be playing in the Summer Nawettan of this year's Brikama Summer Nawettan. Of course, it's a throw in Yaya Sise to take. Yaya had spells with Brikama zonal team and also had a brief spell with the Brikama United team. Yaya Sise trying to help his team Niro Legacy to book a spot in the Brikama Summer Nawettan proper. Playing on the left side of the defense for Niro Legacy. Number 9 on his back, and it's a throw in for Sise Yaya. Niro Legacy under the guidance of Keba Conte. Lamin Bojang is his assistant. Landing Jame is the head coach for Borderline Football Club. Bruno Gomez is his assistant. Corner Niro Legacy. Who is taking this? Niro Legacy dressed in their colorful light green shorts, and light green socks, and it's going to be a corner. Yaya Site to take that. Playing that ball short. Ibrahim Amani now flashes in across. Ball being headed out partly. Borderline regain possession, still in their own half, and the score is currently 0-0. That's a handball. That's a handball, and cheers and shouts coming from the supporters of Borderline Football Club. And Niro Legacy also having sets of supporters on the other end. Of course, it's a great turnout at the theatre. This is the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, and Box Bar Mini Stadium will never disappoint when it comes to turnout, especially Nawettan matches. And this is the elimination and the first game of the elimination 2025. And we're going to have 3 matches this today. The first this morning, the other at 3 p.m. and the other at 5 p.m. respectively. And we are starting with the first fixture between Niro Legacy and Borderline. And at 3 p.m. is Badi FC up against Jamweli. And 5 p.m. is Dankote up against African Light. It's currently 0-0. Which of the sides will find the back of the net for the first time in the 2025 Brikama Summer Nawettan elimination around the area? It's going to be a chase for Borderline into the gloves of the goalkeeper Musa Suare. In case you're just joining us, this is all coming to you live, and all coming to you live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in the 2025 Brikama Sports Committee elimination, and 2025 eliminations to be precise. 76 teams, a whooping 76 teams eyeing for spots in this year's Brikama Summer Nawettan proper. Already we have 76 teams. That will be trimmed down, and further trimmed down to the possible and final 7 that will have the opportunity to play in the Brikama Summer Nawettan proper. Famara Jaju playing it down. Abdul Jame to Famara once again. Jame Abdul floats that ball forward, trying to connect the advancing player. Strongly headed out by Niro Legacy. Nelson Mendy playing it down. Nelson is going to regain possession. Back to Yaya Sise. Yaya floats that ball forward to the center forward. Nelson struggles in the process. And this time, that's an infringement. That's a foul signal by central referee Landing Jiba. Omar Sisoho is one of the assistants. Landing Jai and Bakari Jaju, the 4th assistant referee. It's currently a busy technical area for both covers. Borderline against Niro Legacy. It's a strong header around the center circle. Borderline trying to get something from this. Niro on a defensive walk. On the far side, Niro Legacy central defender and 13 Pamodu Jajo getting that ball from their own half. That's a foul given by central referee Landing Jajo, and it's an opportunity for Niro Legacy. Niro Legacy 0, Borderline 0 in the opening fixture of the Brikama Summer Nawettan elimination and the 2025 elimination to be precise. And a whooping 76 teams eyeing for spots in this year's Brikama Summer Nawettan proper. 7 things will book places in the Nawettan proper. 7 spots up for grabs. It's a through in, and Niro Legacy will try to regroup while Borderline will effect. Yaya sees ahead. Great backheel and possessive football coming from these young teams of Borderline and Niro Legacy. Borderline to start the play from their own half. It's a long one coming from the boys in blue, and already the flag is up. The flag is up against Borderline. Niro Legacy to start the play from their own half. The rest in their colorful light green shirts, light green socks, and light green socks. Niro Legacy under the guidance of Keba Conte as head coach, and Lamin Pujang is his assistant. Borderline, the head coach is Landing Jame. Brimo Gomez is his assistant. From the Boxbar Mini Stadium, it's the opening game of the Elimination 2025 in Brikama, and it's all coming to you live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin. Parliament Fati Kemo Kanyi, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Peter Ndeke has now switched position from the left to the right. Number 10 on his back, Ndeke lost possession, and it's an opportunity for Borderline to effect a throw in. Borderline nil, Niro Legacy nil from the Boxbar Mini Stadium. And of course, a special morning at the theater. Niro Legacy nil, Borderline nil, and we must have a winner in this contest, either in regulation or post-match shootout. Famara Jaju, this time getting that ball short, is an opportunity for Borderline, trying to unlock the defense of Niro Legacy. Ball being caught out. Play on, says the central referee. And claps coming from the supporters of Niro Legacy and Borderline Football Club, and the score is currently 0-0. 0-0 is the current score. 0-0 is the current score. The ball should be taken back. The ball should be taken back. And Yaya Sise to take that for Niro Legacy, operating on the left side of the defense. And that's a foul. That's a foul once again for Niro Legacy. Niro nil, Borderline nil. Modu Ture starting the play for Niro Legacy in their own half. And currently all the players, Borderline behind the ball. That's a strong one. That's a strong one. But the central referee has already waved for an offside. An offside against Niro Legacy. Borderline will have the opportunity. And in case you're just joining us, this is the opening fixture of the Brikama Summer Nawettan Elimination 2025. Coming to you live from the Boxbar Mini Stadium in Brikama, live on LSTV1. And in case you're just joining us, Niro Legacy up against Borderline. The score is currently 0-0. Niro Legacy starting with Musa Suare in goal. Modu Ture team captain, Asan Jaju Yaya Sise, Buba Mane, Tony Nyobe, Ibrahim Mane, Peter Ndeki, Mohamed Drame, Pamodu Jajo and Nelson Mende completing the 11 for Niro Legacy, and the team is under the guidance of Keba Conte as head coach. Lamin Bojang is his assistant, and Borderline starting with Ibrahim Akambi in goal, Babandi Manke, Baseku Jo, Bubakar Drame, Alaji Kole, Ibrahim Jau, Famara Jame, Famara Jajo, Modu Jiba, Abdu Drame and Molamin Jajo completing the 11 for Borderline, and the team Borderline is under the guidance of head coach Landing Jame, and Brino Gomez is his assistant. The score is currently 0-0 from the Boxbar Mini Stadium, and it is the opening game of the 2025 Brikama Summer Nawettan Elimination, and already we have 76 whooping teams eyeing sports for this year's Brikama Summer Nawettan proper, and 7 available sports. Kemo Kanye, I think this is of course the biggest sports that ever given by Brikama Sports Committee, to have the opportunity to give 7 sports to aspiring teams that will be hoping and also wishing to play in the Brikama Summer Nawettan proper. Of course, it's a chance for a lot of teams to have the opportunity to play in the Brikama Summer Nawettan. It used to be 4 and now extended to 5, wherein we're going to have 40 teams to play in the Brikama Summer Nawettan proper. That was definitely very close for Niro Legacy, but wasted.
Yes, this is the biggest opportunity so far. I mean, because I mean, it used to be only four spots, and then you can see not all four teams that will be playing in the Nawettan that will qualify themselves from the eliminations will get their way to the Nawettan Street. But I mean, they had to play again for them to book another place. Sometimes you have three or two teams of the qualifying teams that will be able to qualify to the Nawettan proper. But this time there is seven place for them that automatic for them. There is no nothing that they are going to be playing against the relegated teams or no. These seven teams will all be coming from the this elimination team. So they are having a very good chance here. This is a very good chance for all the teams that want to take part in the Briana Summer Nawettan. So this is a straight spot seven for them. So let's see which of the seven will make their way. But I mean, it is 76 teams, so meaning 69 of the teams will be going out, and then seven will make their way automatically. So that is a very good moral booster for either of the sides here. They will all be working towards this particular to achieve qualifiers to the league proper, and then if that was an offside, but it was a beautiful goal there from the borderline side. So I mean, that seventh spot there is available for all the teams that are taking part in the Summer Nawettan, which used to be, I mean, for qualifying themselves to the last round, where they will also be meeting relegated teams. And then this time they are not meeting any relegated teams in the last round, but only the elimination teams that they are going to be meeting. And then if you are able to win those games before you have before you are in the final seven, then good luck to you to the Briana Summer Nawettan. But I mean, it is also going to be very difficult, because every team is coming into this Summer Nawettan with the ambition of getting themselves qualified. So this is why this first game, I'm not sure about the other teams that are coming, but this first game we have seen a very strong side being plays or being started here by either of the sides here in Niro Legacy and Borderline FC. So these are very good teams that are currently taking on each other. Perhaps other teams will also be filing so many good players, so that they can get themselves into the last seven that will be qualifying to the Nawettan proper part.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanye. Lively, great atmosphere at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in the opening game of the 2025 Briana Summer Nawettan elimination, and the game between Niro Legacy and Borderline. The score is currently 0-0. Which of the sides will book a place? We'll get to the next stage of the Briana Summer Nawettan qualifiers. Remains to be seen. Is it Borderline or Niro Legacy? One of the two will advance, and one of the two must crash out. Anyway, lively, great atmosphere, great game at the theater, great game between Niro Legacy and Borderline. It's a stiff game. Both sides hoping to win it and getting a spot in the next phase. Around the area is an opportunity for Niro Legacy. Ball being launched forward, partly caught out. Another opportunity, and the center forwards will chase. Peter and Deki, the ball is too strong for Deki, and the center forward Nelson Mendy to chase. The gloves of the custodian. Lively contest, great atmosphere, great game currently underway at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Borderline this time around, playing that ball short. Famara Jaju to Modu Jiba Modu, trying to test the goalkeeper from distance into the gloves of the custodian, and the goalkeeper is Musa Suare. Musa Suare, the goalkeeper. Suare Musa, the goalkeeper for Niro Legacy. Who is going to win it? Is it Niro or Borderline? Niro up against Borderline at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in the opening game and the morning game at the theater. The custodian Musa Suare going long, ball being headed down, chested down this time around, coming from Borderline Football Club, and the player in question is the number 7 Famara Jame. Famara's effort partly blocked in there by his fellow player, and it's a throw in Borderline. Borderline dressed in blue shorts and blue socks, while Niro Legacy in light green shorts and light green socks, and it's currently 0-0 at the Box Bar in the morning game. It's a strong one coming from Niro Legacy, caught out by the central defenders of Borderline Football Club. It's an opportunity for either Decides to book a place to the next stage of the Brickama Summer Nawettan elimination, and it's the opening game, of course the opening fixture. Which of the sides will book places remains to be seen. And they have 40 minutes in the first half and 40 minutes in the second period and 80 minutes to complete the showdown at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in the opening game, the opening fixture of the elimination at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brickama. That's a tussle on the far side. It's a tussle between the players of Niro Legacy and Borderline. Niro to start the play from their own half. It's a long one around the center circle. Both been headed down, chested down by Niro Legacy. Peter and Deki on the far side. Deki Peter from the left to the right now, trying to dribble past one, looking for options. This time Peter once again around the edge of the 18. Is that going to be a foul? Yes, given by the central referee, and of course claps coming from the supporters of Niro Legacy, and currently is a set piece at a great position. That was an incredible run coming from the number 10, Peter Ndeki. And the player foul around the edge of the 18 is an opportunity for the boys in light green colors to deliver. Niro Legacy just need a dead ball specialist to possibly have the chance to cause some problems for Borderline. It's just inches off the 18 yard. Who is going to step up? Who is going to step up? Who is stepping up for Niro Legacy? Currently having 3 of the players behind the ball. Buba Mane is one of them. Buba Mane number 5. Peter Ndeki also not very far. We're also having Yaya Cisse around the area. Seemingly this might be Yaya's opportunity to deliver. Yaya of course is a dead ball specialist operating on the left side of the defense for Niro Legacy, and currently we have 4 of Niro Legacy players around the area. Peter Ndeki is trying to make way. He has now moved away from the area. Giant wall assembled by Borderline Football Club. Niro Legacy just need to rely on the dead ball specialist to get something from this set piece. Yaya Cisse not very far. Also Buba Mane around the area who is taking this. Giant wall assemble, and also a player behind the wall. That's an Italian type of defending here. It's a set piece. Buba Mane, and Buba strike, and this time inches off the area, and it's a goal kick to Borderline Football Club. Of course it's a great one, but never troubled the custodian, and the score is currently 0-0. 0-0 at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brickama in the opening game of the 2025 Brickama Summer Nawettan Qualifier. Anyway, early substitution. Who is going out for Niro Legacy? Hassan Jaju is off. Hassan Jaju is off and being replaced. Hassan Jaju is off and being replaced by Serif Sanyang. And Serif is another fantastic player. And Serif, we have seen him play Brickama Summer Nawettan here. And we have seen him play for series of clubs. And Serif Sanyang introduced. Serif Sanyang introduced after replacing Hassan Jaju for Niro Legacy. It's an early substitution, first half substitution. Kimo Kanye, I think this is definitely timely. It is elimination, and it is just a single chance. You are beaten, you are off. This is why the technicians wouldn't want to waste any time. If a player is not trying to deliver, you are going to be substituted, and this is exactly what Niro Legacy has done. And we have already seen Niro Legacy taking up Hassan Jaju and being replaced by Serif Sanyang in the very first period of this qualifier.
Very well. In elimination round, there is no room for error. You must let any room for error, because otherwise it is going to cost you a lot. So if a player fails to deliver, I believe the coach knows why. He substituted that particular player and then bringing another young player in his place. So let's see what happens here. Perhaps he knows the weakness of that particular player, and then maybe 1 or 2 reasons would be there for his substitution. But it's a very early substitution into the towards the ending of the first half. But let's see what happens here, whether his substitute will be able to deliver the way the coach wanted him to. So wants him to rather. So, but it is football. I mean, anything is can happen, and then we expect everything in regards to the substitutions and also the ideas of the coaches coming into play into the games here. It is always going to be very, very, I mean, surprising at times to see certain decisions being taken by the coaches, but nonetheless they are the custodians of their team, and then they know rather each player very well, the weaknesses and also their strength, and also their game plans that they have placed for a game. Perhaps if a player is not working by the game plan, so you don't have to leave him there. If you have speaking to him time and time again to making sure that he follows. Perhaps he did not understand the game plan, and then you try to bring in someone who understands the game. So let's see. It is still 0-0 here. It is still 0-0 between the two sides here in Niro Legacy and that of the Borderline FC. Currently we are into the 37th minute according to our own time in here, into the first half. So as the first half draws to an end, let's see, the fight still continues, and then also the energy is still there for either of the sides here. You can see their spirit of winning the game is still within these two teams here, because they must win their first game for them to get themselves any further progress into the eliminations, and then they are very much aware of that. So the only thing that you need to do is try to win whichever game that you are, because in eliminations every other game is a final. You don't have to lose a game to get yourself somewhere else. So you only need a victory to advance to the next level, and then every other player before coming here understand the Nawettan's elimination, and then this is why you can see they are fighting very well to making sure that they at least get themselves a win as the game draws to an end. But still, it is still a stalemate between the two sides in Niro Legacy and Borderline. Both sides have been pushing very well. Both sides have some very good qualities of players within their midst. So this is one of the factors this particular game is still on this on a stalemate here, because I mean we have seen so many good players in Niro Legacy, and also many of them are also in Borderline here. It is still 0-0 between the two sides, and then already approaching the 48th minute of the game, still 0-0 between the two sides.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanyi. And of course approaching half time at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Briana in the opening fixture of the 2025 Briana Summer Nawettan elimination. And the morning came between Niro Legacy and Borderline. It's the opening game. We're also having some other games on the way, or will be coming up at 3 and 5 p.m. respectively. And currently it is 0-0 in the first half between Niro Legacy and Borderline. Borderline 0, Niro Legacy 0, and the winner will advance to the next stage of the competition. Yaya Sise getting that for Niro Legacy. The new entrant Serif Sanya. Serif is another tricky and pacey player, but lost possession. Niro to start the play from their own half. Famara, the team captain. Niro enjoying possession currently. Yaya Sise dropping that ball down. Is that a foul? Yes, given by the central referee, and Niro Legacy will have the opportunity once again. And that's a yellow card. Yellow card to Alaji Koli. Alaji Koli 6 has received the yellow card from the central referee Landing Jiba. And Landing is having the assistance of Omar Sisoho, Landing Jai, and Bakari Jaju as the fourth assistant referee. A minute to be added on. A minute to be added on here. A signal by the central referee Landing. Landing Jiba has already signaled a minute of additional time. A minute of additional time. It's a set piece. Yaya Sise to deliver for Niro Legacy. Floats that ball around the area. Partly headed out. Is that strike? And Serif Sanyang. Strike, and his strike blocked in there by the defenders of Borderline Football Club. That was definitely That was definitely a great chance for Niro Legacy, but squandered. A minute to be added on. A minute to be added on. A signal by the central referee. That's a clash on the heads. Clash of heads. Peter Ndeki down. And another player down injured for borderline. The final moments at the Boxbar Mini Stadium in the opening game of the Brikama Summer Nawettan elimination and the morning game between Niro Legacy and Borderline. The score is still 0-0. Either in regulation or post-match shootout will decide the winner. They have to get a goal, get a winner, or else the game will advance to post-match shootout to decide the winner, and one of the two will advance and the other will crash out of the competition. It is elimination. You are beaten, you are off. You win, you progress. Who is winning and who is progressing remains to be seen. No room for error, no margin for error in elimination. And currently both players are back on their respective feet. And is going to be an opportunity for the central referee to restart this fixture at the Boxbar Mini Stadium after the brief halt due to the clashes of heads. Landing Jiba, the central referee. That's half-time. And it's half-time at the Boxbar Mini Stadium in Brikama. Half-time between Niro Legacy and Borderline. And the score is currently 0-0. This is where we're going to have a brief halt of the commentary. Have 15 minutes of rest and do join us in the next 15 for the continuation at the commentary cabin for LSTV1. It has been Paul Amin Fati, Kimo Kanye, Osman Kamara behind camera operations. Until then, we are off. Do join us in the next 15 for the continuation. Welcome back to the Box Bar Mini Stadium for the continuation of the live commentary and the second half, to be precise, after the 15 minutes of rest. And it's the second half between Niro Legacy and Borderline. Second half and second 45 minutes between the two. Niro Legacy or Borderline will advance. One of the two must advance and one of the two must crash out from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brickhammer, either in regulation or post-match shootout to decide the winner. Niro Legacy nil, Borderline nil. Borderline now playing from our right to left from our commentary cabin, whilst Niro Legacy is from possession Borderline. But in case you're just joining us, it's the second half and the second 40 minutes between the two. Nelson Mendy getting that ball on the far side for the new entrant Serif Sanyang. Serif Sanyang around the edge, trying to dribble passes back. And it's a set piece. Great position. Legacy will have the opportunity to do it. Minutes of the second period. Second 40 minutes at the Box Bar Stadium. A goal might be enough here. A goal might decide this game. Or post-match shootout. Yaya caught out by the wall. Another opportunity. The gloves of the custodian and the goalkeeper for Borderline, Ibrahim Akambi. Borderline Football Club nil, Niro Legacy nil, and in the contest, Niro started the game with Musa Suare in goal, Modu Toure, Hassan Jaju already taking off, Yaya Sise, Buba Mane, Tony Nyobe, Ibrahim Mane, Peter Ndeki, Mohamed Drame, Pamudu Jaju, and Nelson Mendy leading the line. It's going to be a clearance for Niro Legacy, still in their own half. Niro nil, Borderline nil, and Borderline starting with Ibrahim Akambi in goal, Babandi Monkey. Baseku Job, Bubakar Drame, Alaji Kole, Ibrahim Jaum, Famara Jame is an opportunity into the gloves of the netminder. And currently, the central referee or the goalkeeper is down after the clash. Forward mode. And Ibrahim and the monkey, Bubakar Drame, Kole, Ibrahim Jaum, Famara Jame, Famara Jaju, team captain Modu Jiba, Abdul Drame and Modlamin. Modlamin Jaju completing the 11, and the custodian is currently down, and the goalkeeper for Niro Legacy, Musa Suare, and Ibrahim Akambi is currently on the opposite goal post. The goalkeeper is still down after the clash. Both sides picking it from where they left it in the first half, in anticipation of getting the much needed victory. Is it going to be a victory for Niro or a victory for Borderline? Remains to be seen. Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brickhammer is the morning games, and the morning games in the Brickhammer Summer Nawettan elimination, and the fourth game between Niro Legacy and Borderline. 3 p.m. Badi FC will take on Jamwele, whilst Dankote will square off against African Light at 5 p.m. 3 matches for the day in the Brickhammer Summer Nawettan elimination, and currently 0-0. Which of the sides will find the back of the net for the first time this morning between Borderline and Niro Legacy? Glancing header coming from Nelson Mendy, who is currently leading the line for Niro Legacy. Niro Legacy nil, Borderline nil. Goalkeeper. Oh, there is a player down injured for Borderline. And Box Bar Mini Stadium, Difuino. A lot of other activities currently underway at the Box Bar. We have a basketball game and also a volleyball game as well at the theatre, whilst we're having a good number of supporters watching the lads of Niro Legacy and Borderline Football Club from the theatre live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin, Parliament Fati Kemo Kanyi, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. It's definitely lovely and lively. There is still a player down injured. There is still a player down injured for Borderline Football Club, having the assistance of the medics currently. Landing Jiba, the central referee. Omar Sissoko, the fourth assistant. Landing Jai and Bakari Jaju, the fourth assistant referee, in the opening game of the Brikama Summer Nawettan Elimination 2025. The first game between Niro Legacy and Borderline. Niro Legacy hoping to book a place in the last 7, and the last 7 teams will have a spot in the Brikama Summer Nawettan proper. Equally, Borderline will also be hoping to reclaim their spot after having won before losing it after the relegation of the team some years ago. And currently Nelson Mendy is leading the line for Niro Legacy. There is a player currently down for Borderline and will be seemingly stretched off. The player will be stretched off. We can't confirm the player, as he is currently being supported by the medics on the other end of the theatre. Box Bar Mini Stadium, not very far from the Democracy end of the theatre. Niro Legacy nil, Borderline nil. Borderline currently having a player on the stretcher, and he is currently being stretched off. Are we going to see a substitution? We've already seen a player warming up on the other end. If the player isn't able to continue, we might be seeing a substitution coming from. Borderline. This is definitely timely. No room for error. If a player can't continue, he should be taking off, replaced by another. This is the elimination for you. 2025 in Brikama, and at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, to be precise. Niro Legacy against Borderline. The score is still barren. 0-0 is the current score. Which of the sides will advance and which of the two will crash out? Ball being headed down by Mudlamin Jaju. An opportunity for Borderline around the center circle. Niro Legacy this time. Serif Sanyang playing it backwards. Yaya Sise to the team captain Modu Toure, and back to the goalkeeper and the custodian with an arm throw, trying to connect Peter Ndeki Peter getting it forward to Nelson Mendy. Nelson playing it down, trying to reconnect the advancing number 11 Mohamed Rame, and that wasn't a great combination from Nelson Mendy and the number 11 Mohamed Rame. Through in Peter Ndeki to deliver. Ndeki Peter, number 10 on his back for Niro. Drame heading it down. Another opportunity for Niro Legacy into the gloves of the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper goal for Borderline Football Club. Borderline contest started the game. Briana Kambi, Baba Bubakar Drame, Alaji Kole, Ibrahim Jao, Famara Jame, Famara Jaju, Modu Jiba, Abdul Drame and Modlamin Jaju. Niro Legacy, of course, the home side, currently having Musa Sawane in goal, Modu Ture, Asan Jaju, who is already taking off Yaya Sise, Buba Mane, Tony Nyobe, Ibrahim Mane, Peter Ndeki, Mohamed Drame, Pamodu Jaju and Nelson Mendy. And of course, we are currently having the introduction of Serif Sanyang, who came on as a substitute in the fourth period. Around the area, it is Borderline now. Borderline to chase, and the ball is too strong for the player. Kemo Kanyi, welcome back to the second half. And it has been a brilliant first half and also brilliant beginning of the second period. Both sides picking it from where they left it. And the vision of course, the objective is very clear. It has to be in regulation or post-match shootout, and both sides are definitely hopeful to win it in regulation, or else post-match will definitely decide the winner between the two.
Yes, the ambition here remains very clear. I mean, both of them want to progress into the next round of this elimination for the Brikama Summer Nawettan. So, in order for you to you must be able to win this particular game first before dreaming of playing another game in the advanced stages of the elimination. So, I mean, both sides are aware of this, and they don't want to lose this particular game. Otherwise, this will be the last game for them in the Brikama, Summer Nawettan, elimination round, because for that, if you are beaten, of course, you are automatically taken off. So for the teams that will be playing the next round are the teams that will that wins their first games. So if you fail to win this particular game, of course, you are out of the competition. So this is what makes elimination very very difficult, because after paying 7,000 coming in 2 days, and then if you are booted out in the first place in the first game, it is always very very difficult for you to recover. And then but let's see what happens, whether it has to be the Niro legacy side or that of Borderline to go home with the victory. But solely one of them will be going home with the victory, and then be preparing for the second round of the games. Because if the 90 minutes fails to separate them, of course, one of the sides must win from the penalty shootout, and then that particular side will be playing in the next round of this elimination. And then as you can see, the energy that they are putting into this particular game, the zeal and also the courage for either of the sides here, because these are very very big sides already when it comes to Brikama Soma Nawettan, because both of them have tested the Nawettan proper. Borderline were there, and then they have been playing in the Nawettan for a very long time, getting themselves relegated, while that of the Niro Legacy side have been given a spot into the Soma Nawettan where they were competing in, and then eventually, but that was in their place, and then now that they wanted their own place, and then they are now getting into the qualifiers, so they will be getting themselves into the Nawettan proper, while otherwise called Borderline, is a household name in Brikama Soma Nawettan, so getting themselves relegated, and now that they want to come back as it used to be. So it's a great fight that they have been putting in since the start of the game. Both sides have been pushing very well so that they can get themselves a spot into the next round, because that is the only way you will be able to show off yourself whether I'll be able to qualify or not. But losing this particular game, automatically you are out. So they are very much aware of that. This is why they are they are fighting very very well in order to win this first game, and then proceed to the next round.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanye. Lively, interesting game at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. And Brikama Box Bar Mini Stadium, of course, situated in the heart of Brikama, West Coast region, the Gambia, is the Nawettan Qualifier. The qualifier on the first match and the first game between Niro Legacy and Borderline. Niro nil, Borderline nil. In the first game, 3 p.m. fixture will feature a clash between Badi FC and Najawet, for Dankote taking on African Light at 5 p.m. Around the area, it is Niro Legacy around the edge of the 18. Niro Legacy nil, Borderline nil. Around the center is Niro Legacy trying to control the ball around the edge. It's Niro Legacy on the far side. Peter Ndeki Peter getting that ball around the area into the gloves of the custodian, and the goalkeeper Kambi for Borderline. It's a long one headed down by the central defender into the gloves of the goalkeeper Musa Suare. And Suare Musa is the goalkeeper for Niro, Peter Ndeki, now playing as the right full back for Niro Legacy Football Club. Not a very good clearance, and Niro Legacy not a great control. The players should have done better. Ball being picked around the center. Famara Jaju Rasul and team captain Famaran. Of course, it's a double substitution. Double substitution for Borderline Football Club, who is going out. Borderline Football Club is taking off Ibrahima Jau, and Jau Ibrahima is already introduced, substituted and replaced by Malam Manka. Malam Manka 12 introduced in the second period. Peter Ndeke, who is now playing as the right fullback. Around the center, Nelson Mendy lost it. Niro Legacy around the center. Currently it is 0-0 at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama. It is on the far side, Modu Jiba trying to go solo for Borderline. Floats that ball around the area, and this time the flag of the assistant referee is already up. The flag of the assistant referee is already up, and already up against Borderline Football Club. Is another substitution. Who is going out this time around for Borderline Football Club? Who is going out and who is coming in? Abdudrame is going out. Abdudrame is going out for Borderline, and Demba Jube will be introduced. Demba Job introduced. Abdudrame is taking off and Demba Job introduced. Peter Ndeke getting it forward, headed out partly by Borderline Football Club and the central defender of 14 just there in time, Boubacar Drame. Peter Ndeke to benefit from another throw in, and of course he's coming to you live from the box bar, live on LSTV at the commentary cabin, Parliament Fati Kimo Kanye, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. It's around the area, a throw in for Borderline Football Club, who are now playing from the democracy end of the box bar towards the police line end, while Niro Legacy kicking from the police line end towards the democracy end of the box bar mini stadium in Brikama. It is 2025 Brikama Soma Nawettan elimination. That's an infringement on Peter Ndeke as signaled by the central referee Landing Jiba. Landing having the assistance of Omar Sisaho, Landing Jai and Bakari Jaju. Is going to be another substitution. Who is coming in and who is going off? Tony Nyobe is taking out and being replaced by Momodou Saliu Jallo. Momodou Saliu Jallo to introduced by Niro Legacy, and the team is under the guidance of head coach Keba Conte, and Keba is assisted by Lamin Bojang. Landing Jamme is on the dugout for Borderline. Bruno Gomez is his assistant. Peter Ndeke. Ndeke to effect. Any moment from now we're going to see another substitution. The number 11 is going out for Niro Legacy. Mohamed Rame off. Who is replacing him? Replaced by Lamin Jambo. Lamin Jambo in. Clearance, not a very good one coming from Peter Ndeke. It's a throw in. Throw in. Mohamed Saleh, the new entrant. Caught out by Borderline. It's a delivery quickly taken. Borderline Football Club against Niro Legacy. Great combination, great control and tone. Niro Legacy getting the ball forward. No player to chase. Back to the custodian Ibrahima Kambi. Kambi Ibrahima in goal for Borderline. Musa Suare in goal for Niro Legacy. Keba Conte is the head coach for Niro. Lamin Bojang is his assistant. And the head coach Landing Jamme for Borderline. Brimo Gomez is his assistant. Niro Legacy nil, Borderline nil. Who is going to advance and who is going to crash out? One of the two must advance and one of the two must crash out. Is it Niro Legacy or Borderline remains to be seen. Post-match shootout, if they can't get it in regulation, post-match shootout will definitely do. Landing is now asking the player Peter Ndeke to get off the field. It is currently a throw-in and the player still in field. It's a throw-in and will be retaken by Borderline Football Club. As signaled by referee Landing Jiba. Quickly taken. Borderline on the left side, trying to cause some problems for Niro Legacy. And into the gloves of the custodian and the goalkeeper Musa Suare in goal for Niro. Launches that ball forward. It's a chase for Niro Legacy and the central defenders. Just there in time. Borderline. Time of course running out for both sides. Niro nil, Borderline nil from the box bar mini stadium in Brikama. Lively, great possessive display with a lot of intention coming from the young lads of Niro Legacy and Borderline. Peter Ndeke. Ndeke Peter. Peter Ndeke getting it forward. Yaya sees it this time. Yaya penalized by the referee. Box bar mini stadium in Brikama is the venue. Great turnout as we have fans here watching this lively morning game at the box bar between Niro Legacy and Borderline. It is the Brikama Summer Nawettan Qualifier 2025 in the first game of the fixtures. Borderline nil, Niro Legacy nil. Post-match shootout will take center stage if we don't have a goal in the contest. It is eliminations. There must be a winner in regulation, or post-match shootout will deliver. Around the area, player Rasul, nothing given. Borderline regain possession. Getting the ball on the left side of the attack for Borderline Football Club. Famara Jame playing that ball low to the center forward Modlamin Jaju. Modlamin lost possession. Famara regain possession around the area. Borderline now. Can they get something? Partly cleared out. It's still Borderline. Famara! And blocked in there by the defenders of Niro Legacy around the area. Borderline. Once again, Famara Jaju. Trying to test his luck once again. And Famara is the team captain for Borderline, and also the team captain for the Fonyi zonal team. And the Fonyi zonal team, Famara Jajo, number 8 for Borderline Football Club. Also the team captain, Niro Legacy, Yaya Sise, Yaya Rasul, and rewarded by the central referee or the assistant referee on the other end. It's definitely a great battle, great contest at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Loving every piece in this contest. The atmosphere, the tempo of the game, the hunger and the determination in getting to the next spot. The assistant referee has now called on, is it going to be substitution? There is currently communication between the two. One of the assistant referees seems not to be okay. If he isn't able to continue, we're going to have Bakari Jaju, who is serving as the 4th assistant referee, to replace the injured assistant. Karamo will solely replace. We have enough referees at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. The 4th assistant referee wouldn't be coming. We have a lot of West Coast Region referees, or West Coast Region Football Referees Association, of course members of the association, and of course we have a whole lot of referees at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, and each and every one of them is just ready to step up. One of the assistant referees injured and will now have time to be substituted. Kemo Kanye, I think this is definitely timely. I think we wouldn't struggle when it comes to referees here. We have a full lot of referees here who are currently watching the game here. We thought it was going to be the 4th assistant referee, Bakari Jaju, to replace the injured assistant referee, but already we have a whole lot of them here, and then we have a good number of them that are all ready to replace the injured referee, of course the assistant referee in this contest. The game is temporarily stopped, and then we will have that substitution in the assistant referee, and after that we will have a continuation.
Yes, very well. This is very good to have a good number of referees around, because I mean, you wouldn't know what kind of when emergencies can occur, and then this is not an exception to such issues. We have seen one of the assistants or referees not been able to continue the game, so he's been escorted to the dressing room, and then one of his assistants there will be able to, I mean, take his place, and then the game will be allowed to continue. You can see, I mean, there are other referees that are here. Then they are currently inside the dressing room, and then preparing one of them to come and then replace the injured one, and then the game will therefore continue here at the Briana Box Bar Mini Stadium. So but after this, if they are not able to score any goal here as the game proceeds, currently, I mean, the timing is currently heading towards 25 minutes, but we are going to have a reasonable number of additional time that will be added here due to the assistant referee being injured, and then that has also taken at least 2 minutes for now. So let's see what these sides will be able to do. So with this, with the stoppage currently, I mean, you can see teams are also taking advantage of this, and then you can see they are grouped in different forms in trying to make it so that they share their ideas, and then to make it so that they do what is necessary for their side. You can see the Niro Legacy players are grouped at one end, and then you can also see a group of the Borderline players also grouping at one end. So you can see, I mean, one of the lines man has now been replaced, and then the game will now be allowed to continue here at the Briana Box Bar Mini Stadium. Currently it is still 0-0 between the two sides, and then the game will proceed here as it is. The game is now set to proceed after the other linesman has now been substituted here due to emergency he suffered from.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanye. The game had a brief halt due to some issues with one of the assistant referees, and that is already being sorted out as Karamo Sise has replaced the injured referee or assistant referee, Landing Jai. Landing Jai already taking off and replaced by Karamo Sise. And Karamo Sise is now one of the assistant referees. And it is currently 0-0 at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama between Niro Legacy and Borderline Football Club. Which of the sides will advance and which of the sides will crash out? Currently it is 0-0. In regulation or post-match shootout will decide. Time running out, and we have already played 25 minutes unofficial according to our clock in the second half around the area. Modu Ture heading it down. Modu Ture, the team captain. Yaya Sise to the advancing 14 for Niro Legacy. Ibrahim Mane. Mane regained collection. Rustled, and this time rewarded by the assistant referee on the other end. And the referee is Landing Jiba, having the assistance of Omar Sisako. And now Karamo Sise and Bakari Jaju serving as the fourth assistant referee. From the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, it is definitely lively. It is the opening game of the qualifier. 2025 Brikama Summer Nawettan Qualifiers between Niro Legacy and Borderline. Nelson now. Nelson having it tough. Famara Jaju rolling it down for Borderline. Borderline in their own half. Switching the play from the center to the right. It's going to be a chase on the far side. Yaya Sise dropping it down. Is that a foul? Of course, given by referee Landing. And Landing Ajiba. That's a yellow card. And yellow card for Yaya Sise, the former Brikama United left back. He had spells with Brikama United, a Brikama zonal team, now playing for Niro Legacy in the qualifier. It's a delivery on the far side for the boys in blue. Borderline. Borderline Football Club 0, Niro Legacy 0. It has been an interesting first half. Second half as well. And currently time running out for both sides. In regulation they have to settle it order. Otherwise it's going to be post-match shootout to decide the winner between the two. One must advance and the other must crash out. It's a delivery for Borderline around the area into the gloves of the custodian, and timely Musa Suare just there in time to gather that ball with ease. That was definitely timely for the custodian for Niro Legacy into the gloves of the opposite goalkeeper, and the opposite goalkeeper is Ibrahim Kambi. Kambi the goalkeeper. Borderline Famara Jaju playing it down, and the player trying to use his pace against Peter Ndeki. Peter is another pacey player. This time it is Borderline. Peter Ndeki once again on the defensive work. It's a corner on the far side, lively. And you could hear the claps and cheers coming from the respective supporters of Borderline and Niro Legacy. We are definitely loving this game and definitely loving everything about this contest at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in the opening game of the Brikama Summer Nawettan Elimination 2025. It is still 0-0. Niro 0, Borderline 0. Who is going to advance and who is going to crash out? It's a corner. Borderline dressed in blue. Niro Legacy dressed in light green. It's a delivery, and the goalkeeper into the gloves of the netminder Musa Suare once again. Suare Musa urging his players to calm down. Niro Legacy currently dressed in light green shorts on green socks, and Niro Legacy of course under the guidance of Keba Conte and Lamin Bojang as head and assistant coaches, whilst Landing Jame and Brimo Gomez are the gaffer or the gaffers for Borderline. It's Borderline 0, Niro Legacy 0 in the second period. Yaya Sise heading it down. Niro Legacy trying to control that ball on the far side, and it's a wasted opportunity. Modlamin Jaju is the center forward. It's a throw in coming from the new entrant Malang Manka. Malang is one of the entrants who came on in the second period. Niro Legacy lost it around the area, trying to recollect the ball once again from Borderline, and Borderline will now switch to the left-sided wing back and number 11. Briana also came on as a substitute, but he has been a fantastic player since his introduction. Around the center circle, ball being headed down. Niro Legacy losing it to Borderline Football Club. Border, great possessive display and claps from the supporters, and you could hear the claps and support from the background, and of course the support is coming from the base. Niro Legacy and its supporters, Borderline and its supporters, both sides hoping to get to the next phase of the competition. The Brikama Summer Nawettan Elimination 2025. We are definitely loving it. Definitely loving everything about this contest. Borderline against Niro Legacy. Great possessive display coming from these young lads of Borderline and Niro Legacy Football Club. Currently, it has all the ingredients to be described. A fantastic game, but the only missing thing is the goal or goals coming from either sides. Famara Jaju penalized. Famara seems to be surprised with that decision from the referee. Of course, he has the final say, and the referee is Landing Jiba. Omar Sisaho is one of them. Bakari Jaju is the fourth assistant referee. Of course, Karamo Sise coming on as a standby assistant referee after the injury, or an injury to one of the assistants, Landing Jai. Landing already taking off. Is an opportunity. Niro Legacy to deliver. Regulation or post-match shootout. Anyway, time running out for both sides. Time running out for both Niro Legacy. And we currently have under 10 minutes of normal time plus additional minutes. They have to score in 10 minutes plus additional time, or else it's going to be post-match shootout to decide the winner between Niro Legacy and Borderline Football Club. What a class, what a contest from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Niro nil, and of course Borderline nil. Another substitution, this time to Niro Legacy. Who is coming out? Nelson Mendy is going out. Nelson taking off and being replaced by Ibrahim Ajabi. Nelson Mendy taking off. Ibrahim Ajabi introduced for Niro Legacy. What a morning. A special morning at the Box Bar. Of course, it's Nawettan elimination. 7 available spots. 7 guaranteed spots in this year's Brikama Summer Nawettan. No playoffs. And already we have 76 teams vying for the 7 available spots. It's going to be a chase. Modu Ture going against the central defender and the forward. And the player Rasul, central referee, asking the player to come back to his feet. And the central referee just on spot. Modlamin Jaju went down, and the central referee believed that was definitely very cheap to be awarded a penalty. But anyway, it's a corner as signaled by the central referee. Referee is Landing Jiba. Omar Sisoho is one of the assistant referees. Karamo Sise and Bakari Jaju, of course, serving as the 4th assistant referee from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Time running out for both sides. Either in regulation, post-match shootout will decide the winner between Niro Legacy and Borderline Football Club in the opening game of the Brikama Summer Nawettan Qualifier 2025. It's a strong header coming from Modu Ture to Serif Sanya. It's a clearance earlier on from Peter Ndeki, and finally from Niro Legacy. It's currently a torsion. Mamadou Selu trying to dribble past a group of players, and he still play on around the center, partly caught out. It's an opportunity for Niro Legacy. Borderline this time. It's definitely lovely from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. We are definitely loving the contest. Definitely loving the contest between Niro Legacy and Borderline. Who is going to advance and who is going to crash out? It is Borderline now. Caught out by Peter Ndeki, but before that is an infringement as signaled by the referee. Of course, time running out. Kemo Kanyi, we have under 10 minutes of normal time plus additional minutes to decide the winner between Niro Legacy and Borderline. If they can get a goal, hopefully, you know, post-match shootout will decide the winner between the two. And anyway, it's either going to be, one thing is for sure, it's either going to be Niro Legacy or Borderline to advance to the next stage of the Brikama Summer Nawettan elimination.
Yes, one must progress in this last 6 minutes plus the additional time here. Otherwise, plus the additional time. Otherwise, it is going to be decided on a post-match shootout, and then they know that. So, of course, the coaches and also the technical benches will now be preparing for such occasion because they know that there is a very very limited time. But we can have a late drama here with absence to that late drama. Of course, I mean the game will be pushed to a post-match shootout where either one of the sides here must progress to the next round. So let's see what happens here, whether it has to come from the Niro Legacy side or it has to come from the borderline end. But the since the game started, we have seen Niro Legacy doing a very very minimal pressure on the side of a borderline here. The goalkeeper for the borderline and is not that much busy, but the goalkeeper for the Niro Legacy is the busier amongst the two. So let's see what happens here. But that. Perhaps that might not decide who to proceed to the next level, unless you score a goal. That alone, that is the only thing that guarantees you a place to the next round. So let's see whether they will be able to score, or are we going to see Niro Legacy scoring, or either side will fail to score, and then with that, then the game must be decided from the shootout, and then they will be prepared for that. Currently, knowing that we are having a very very limited time to be played here. But
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanye. It's a delivery partly caught out by Niro Legacy, and is an opportunity for borderline to benefit from a corner. Time running out for both sides. Either in regulation or post-match shootout will decide the winner between Niro Legacy and a Borderline Football Club at the Boxbar Mini Stadium in Brikama. Of course, it is the elimination or qualifier 2025 in Brikama. 7 available spots, 7 guaranteed available spots in this year's Brikama Summer Nawettan. No playoffs, and 40 teams will be playing in the Nawettan proper. Niro Legacy around the area, trying to get something from this borderline. It's the turn of Niro Legacy now. Can they get something from this? Around the area, that's a handball as signaled by the central referee, and that's a handball. That's a handball as signaled by the central referee. That was a brilliant attack coming from borderline, and it's a yellow card from Niro Legacy ladder. It's a yellow card for the number 4, and the number 4 Babandi Monkey has received a yellow card from the central referee Landing Jiba. Time running out. Any moment from now we might be seeing the additional minutes. Time running out for both sides. If they can't get a goal in regulation, post-match shootout will decide the winner in the fourth and opening game of the Brikama Summer Nawettan Elimination 2025. Yaya Sise is one of the players on the ball, and also Buba Mane. Buba floats that. Never troubled the goalkeeper. That was indeed a weak effort. Weak effort from the midfielder Buba. It's an opportunity for Niro. This time it is borderline. Yaya Sise. Yaya getting it down. Time running out, and any moment from now we will surely have another substitution coming from Borderline Football Club, and some of those players might be penalty specialists to be introduced. Sheriff Sanyang around the area. Sheriff trying to go solo, looking for options. Sheriff Sanyang Rasul, nothing given by the referee. Borderline spreading it wide. The ball is still in play around the area. Borderline Football Club into the gloves of the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper Musa Suare is down once again after the clash between Suare and the centre forward Molamin Jajo of Borderline Football Club into the final moments of this crucial and lively game at the Boxbar Mini Stadium in the final moment. Final moment at the theatre. Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, the opening game of the Elimination 2025. At 3 p.m. Badi FC will take on Jamweli, and at 5 p.m. Dankote will take on African Light to complete the fixtures for the day. And it is currently 0-0 in the opening match between Niro Legacy and Borderline. Who is going to advance and who is going to crash out? Is it going to be Niro Legacy to advance or Borderline? Or is it going to be Niro Legacy to crash out or Borderline? Anyway, the goalkeeper is currently down. Musa Suare is the goalkeeper. It's another substitution. Borderline will benefit from another substitution. Modu Jiba is going off and will be replaced by Ibrahim Ajouf. The goalkeeper is still down, currently back on his feet. And the custodian and the goalkeeper, of course, is Suare. Musa Suare, the custodian. And Musa Suare will be okay, hopefully. I believe this might be a worrying moment for Niro Legacy. The goalkeeper seems to be struggling still, and hopefully he'll be able to have his way out. He seems to be okay. That should have been a worrying moment for Niro Legacy as we currently heading to the post-match shootout any moment from now, into the very final moments at the box bar in this contest between the two.
Yes, his performance for Niro Legacy in this game is undeniable. He has been doing very well between the sticks for Niro. So, I mean, approaching a crucial moment of the game when a goalkeeper like that is struggling from injury. So that was a worrying moment for them. But he's okay to continue. But you can still hear him coughing around that particular end. So let's see what the result will be, but I hope he will be able to continue. He's still struggling with it. He's still coughing around there seriously, and then after that serious collision with the Borderline striker. So, but as you have said, it was a worrying moment for them, and now that it is okay, and then he is able to continue with the game. Already we have exhausted the normal minute that is to be played here, and then so let's see what happens here next. And that was a foul on Demba Job. He's also a veteran player for this Borderline side. He's been playing for Borderline since they were in the Nawettan proper, and then he's been just been introduced into this particular game not long ago, and then let's see what his influence into the game will be able to give to the Borderline side.
Thank you very much, Kemo Kanyi. And it's approaching the end of the game here. Another substitution for Borderline. Another substitution. Modlamin Jaju is off and being replaced. And the players that they are introducing now, we believe, must be penalty specialists. Anyway, Borderline nil. Niro Legacy nil. Who is going to advance and who is crashing out? The Brikama Summer Nawettan Elimination 2025. 2025 elimination in Brikama. And Brikama Summer Nawettan will have 40 teams this season. 40 teams, 7 available spots. 76 teams currently playing in the elimination. And 7 teams will have a spot to advance to the Nawettan proper. There is no playoffs. No playoffs in Brikama this year. Available 7 spots. Who is going to get the available 7 remains to be seen. And in the first game, Borderline against Niro Legacy. Time running out. Time definitely running out. Definitely running out from the custodian, long and high one. Around the area, strongly headed out. Around the center circle, Niro Legacy spreading it wide to Yaya Sise. Sise Yaya floats that ball and wouldn't trouble the custodian. And any moment from now, the central referee will surely end this contest. Any moment. any moment from now. Any moment from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Ball being headed down by Sheriff Sanya. Another clearance, borderline around the center, lost it. Great interchange of possessive football. Great interchange of possessive football between Niro Legacy and borderline. What a moment. Karamo Sise. The flag of the assistant referee is still up. Or the assistant referee went up, Famara Jaju. That's a yellow card. Yellow card for Sheriff Sanyang. In the final moments of this game at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, of course in Brikama. Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama, to be precise. Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama is all coming to you live, and it is all coming to you live in the Brikama Soma Nawettan Elimination 2025. Strongly headed out by Niro Legacy. Borderline, caught out partly. Sheriff Sanyang dropping it down around the center circle. Niro Legacy trying to penetrate, caught out beautifully. It's the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama for you. Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama. And of course a lively game with a lot of composure and calmness. Delivery. Trying to test the goalkeeper from distance. What a moment. That was definitely very close. Definitely very close for Borderline Football Club. Jibril Koli came on as a substitute, trying to test the goalkeeper from distance. And this time nearly caught the goalkeeper unaware. And it's a corner in the final moments at the box bar. It's another substitution any moment. And tipped by the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper had a hand to it. The goalkeeper having a hand to it, and it's a throw in Borderline. Borderline desperately in need of a goal, and equally Niro Legacy. Niro nil, Borderline nil, around the edge of the 18. Peter Ndeki now. That's full time, and it's full time at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Full time between Niro Legacy and a Borderline, and this game has just ended 0-0, and it's now post-match shootout to decide the winner. Which of these sides will advance and which of these sides will crash out? Borderline or Niro Legacy? Full time, and it ended 0-0. Kemo Kanye is now post-match shootout to decide the winner.
Yes, very well. That's it. If they fail to score any goal in the entire regulation time that has been given, that has been allocated for the game, so of course the game must be decided now from the post-match shootout. Now it must be either of the it must be one of the sides rather to go home with the victory, and then which side would that be? I mean, we can't tell you for sure, but I mean we are very much sure that it is going to either be one of the sides has to go home with the victory. It's either Niro or that of the Borderline FC side. So, but it has been a great game entirely between the two sides into this particular very, very important and also crucial game that both teams have taken themselves into, and then it has failed to settle from that particular scoreline, and then indeed now one of the sides must go home with the victory, or one of the sides here must advance to the next level, because it cannot be just a draw game. But for the post-match shootout, one of the sides must be able to win, and then this is now. We are very much sure of that, and then everyone else who is watching knows that in the post-match shootout, one of the side must excel as a winner and then advance to the next round. And then this will have to be either Niro legacy, or it has to be that of their opponents in Borderline FC. I mean, but it has been a great game between the two. A highly contested game for that matter. None of the sides here would want to, wanted to lose this particular game. So, in order for them to get themselves their desired results, they kept on fighting very well, fighting very hard, so that they will be able to get what they want out of this particular game. And then, indeed, I mean, their dream of playing in the next round remains, because I mean, any of the sides here can win from the shootout. And then now that is where we are right now. Hopefully, I mean, soon the center referee already had made a call for them to go and then start taking that particular ball. So Niro Legacy will be taking the force kick here through their number 14 Mane.
Thank you very much, Kemo. Mane 14. Ibrahima Mane for Niro Legacy. Mane saved by the goalkeeper. What a moment for Borderline Football Club. And the first penalty is squandered by Ibrahima Mane for Niro Legacy. At the Box Bar Mini Stadium, Kemo Kanye, that was definitely a cheap one, and the goalkeeper dived to his right and comfortably guarding that ball. And of course, currently advantage Borderline.
Yes, one would say that was too easy from Mane. I mean, when you are into such stages, especially as the first taker of the penalty, you need to take the ball very well. And then, unfortunately for him, his penalty has been saved now. This will give an advantage to Borderline.
Boubacar Drame, 14! Into the bottom corner, beautifully converted. The goalkeeper dived to his right, but unfortunately could not pull off a save. And it is currently advantage Borderline. Borderline currently leading by a goal to nil on penalties.
Yes, very well. I mean, that was a cool one from the Borderline end, because the ball, there was enough power on the ball for it to pass the goalkeeper. You can also see that the goalkeeper had a touch, but the ball, there was enough power for the ball to continue and then into the back of the net. That was from Boubacar Drame for Borderline FC. And now Peter Ndeki is now given the responsibility for Niro Legacy into this particular game. He is now taking the second kick for his side.
Peter Ndeki currently on the ball, up against the custodian Ibrahima Kambe, who has already saved one for Borderline Football Club. Ndeki Peter 10 on his back, up against Ibrahima Kambe in goal at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Of course, a huge turnout, great turnout at the theater. Peter Ndeki sending the goalkeeper and beautifully converted. Kemo Kanye, that was beautifully converted by Peter Ndeki of Niro Legacy. It is currently still advantage, of course, to Borderline. They also need to score this to possibly have the chance to extend their advantage against Niro Legacy.
Yes, a beautiful penalty well taken here from Peter Ndeki. And then now the newly introduced number 10 for the other side, that is the Borderline, and Gabriel Colley is now given the responsibility. Now he's also been he has just been introduced into the game towards the ending of the game.
The number 10 in question came on as a substitute. Number 10, Jibril Colley, up against Musa Suare in goal for Niro Legacy. Number 10 on his back, Jibril Colley, tall and lanky, in his blue colors. Jibril Colley, will he be able to score? Jibril What a strike and what a goal for Borderline Football Club. And the lead has just extended. Borderline still on the advantage. Beautifully converted. Kemo Kanye, that was definitely a great shot, and no goalkeeper in the world can definitely save this shot.
Yes, very well. Penalties, this is what you need to do, but you don't have to make it very cheap for the or easy for the goalkeepers to save them. Otherwise, it punishes your team. So it is now the number 5, the turn of number 5 for the Niro Legacy side to do the needful for his side. Buba Mane.
Buba Mane will have the turn. Niro Legacy, hands on hip. Mane Buba up against Ibrahim Akambi in goal. Buba Mane. Buba! This time sending the goalkeeper. And of course, Niro Legacy beautifully converted. It's a turn for Borderline once again. Kemoka, you are definitely enjoying the post-match shootouts here. Of course, looking at the turnout, it is almost, it's definitely impressive here. Of course, this is community football. This is what we always expect when we get down to Nawettan Qualifiers and then football matches. That has to do with community football. So I think this is just the beauty of it. This is the beauty of Nawettan. When it comes to Nawettan, I think the ambience is always there, the fanfare and everything connected to football.
Yes, community football is always like this. This is why we are having a large turnout of fans here, especially looking at the children behind the post. They comes from these various communities, and then they are here cheering up their brothers. And then now let's see what happens here.
Ibrahim Ajouf for Borderline, 9 on his back. Ibrahim Ajouf on the crossbar. What a moment at the Boxbar Mini Stadium. And Niro Legacy are back on level terms. Back on level terms. What an opportunity, huge opportunity, glorious opportunity squandered by Ibrahim Ajouf of Borderline. And of course, it is currently lively at the Boxbar Mini Stadium. Of course, both sides having a miss game. It is 1-1, of course, on post-match shootout. Niro Legacy missing a spot kick, and equally Borderline missing a spot kick.
Yes, very well. The most relief player on the pitch here is Ibrahim Mane, the force penalty taker for that of the Niro Legacy side. You can see that from his face that he is happy that another a player had lost from his opponent's end, because he is the force penalty taker and then lost for his side. Now Niro can now capitalize on the situation and then continue the penalty like this to eventually win this particular tie.
Lamin Jumbo came on as a substitute. Jumbo Lamin up against Kambi in goal for Borderline. Lamin Jumbo 19! What a save from the custodian once again. And the custodian has saved it once again for Borderline. And Niro Legacy have been pegged back once again. Niro Legacy having the second spot kick saved by the netminder. Kemo Kanye. Niro Legacy need to step up, or else we might be seeing Borderline advancing to the next stage of the Briana Summer Nawettan elimination.
Yes, this is the direction that we are seeing. I mean, the penalty shootout is more or less favoring that of the Borderline, and Niro Legacy, you can see they had lost another one again. Now Borderline will be able to capitalize on this one through the new substitutes Ibrahim Sow now.
It's another substitute. Ibrahim Sow 11 up against the custodian Musa Suare. Ibrahim Sow, what a beauty of a penalty. What a beauty of a penalty for the away side Borderline Football Club. And Niro Legacy must be under pressure currently. And you could hear the kids have started the celebration on the other end of the Boxbar Mini Stadium.
Yes, I mean, they are shouting lost win, so I believe if Niro Legacy are not able to do the needful for themselves, it is going to be very difficult for them. But let's see what happens here. Another new substitute for the Niro Legacy side is now taking the penalty kick here. The number 4 for them is a substitute, I mean, who has been introduced here, will be now be given, Jabi is now given the responsibility.
Ibrahim Jabi, huge responsibility on his back. Ibrahim Jabi! What a save! What a save! This is just the beauty of it. That was definitely an easy one, a very easy one for the netminder. And confirmed Borderline advance to the next stage. And Niro Legacy has already kissed by to the elimination of this year's elimination in Brikama. And Niro Legacy crash out whilst Borderline advance to the next stage. And of course, this is where we're going to wrap it up. Wrap it up at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, which has been Parliament Fatty at the commentary cabin. Kemo Kanyi and Osman Kamara behind camera operation. Special thanks to all those currently monitoring this game live on LSTV1. It has been a whole lot of interesting activities at the Box Bar. So this is where we're going to say bye-bye. Bye-bye from the Box Bar till we come your way again.